Let's make overnight sourdough and have an amazing loaf by lunch tomorrow. Simple, no fuss, beginner friendly. Take it from a mom of two with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, exclusively breastfeeding. This is how I tie it into my daily life. So first we're gonna start off with 1,000 grams unbleached bread flour, 220 grams active sourdough starter, which by the way smells so amazing, water, and then salt mixed. So at this point, we're gonna have a shaggy dough, and that's exactly what we want. No stand mixer, no stress. We're just letting the dough rest. So this short rest is what's going to allow the flour to fully hydrate, and it makes the dough easier to work with later. That's a key step when you're trying to keep things super duper simple. As you can see, I just keep using the spatula because I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm folding clothes, chatting with my husband, and this is basically our only time alone since the kids are sleeping, right? So later I come back and now the dough is actually workable, as you can see, much more cohesive. And so I'm gonna start doing my stretch and folds, nothing intense. I'm literally just using a spatula and a dough scraper. If you don't have one, just keep using your spatula. It's nothing complicated. Stretch and folds are literally just as they sound. You're stretching it out and folding it over itself. You're turning the pole and doing it again. And this is what makes the dough really elastic and strong, which is what's gonna give you that gluten development. Then you could step away, come back for another round. Just do this as much as you can. And each time you'll notice the dough gets smoother and stronger on its own. This is gluten development happening without real effort. And now that the dough is really stretchy and elastic and cohesive, this is where we're gonna keep working the dough. Now, I forgot to mention, you'll want to wet your hands so it doesn't stick. Otherwise, it'll cling to you like crazy. And this is just my absolute favorite part. Yes. Now, after that, we have the bulk fermentation. We come back after a little bit, and yes, longer fermentation develops more flavor, but this loaf was absolutely incredible. It was a very warm dough, and I didn't have time for a long, complicated fermentation, right? But my son and I gobbled it all up. My husband had it too. We all agreed this was the absolute best. I promise you, it's not that deep. Now, the dough temperature was around 84 degrees when it started. I mixed it all together and then I temped the dough, and I used 220 grams of starter. Now, this is a very warm dough, so it ferments pretty quickly. I used warm water at the beginning, looking for an increase in volume, a smoother surface, and bubbles forming along the sides and bottom. Then I turn out the dough, and boop, there's my dough dump. This isn't about perfection. It's just about organizing the dough and building a little bit of surface tension as we gently pre-shape it. Now, since this was a big batch, I cut it into 4 pieces, weighing out each piece to around 500 grams. Now, each one will make a classic-sized mini sourdough loaf, and they're absolutely perfect size, in my opinion. So here we are, weighing it out. Now, I'm pre-shaping it, as I said. Roll it gently. Build some surface tension, keep it light. And then we're gonna let it have a very short rest after this. And we'll come back for the final shaping, where we're tightening the dough. Just enough to help it hold structure in the oven. We're not gonna squeeze out all those beautiful air pockets that we worked so hard for. This is how we shape it. See, I have a floured surface now. I'm gently building that surface tension, keeping it light. And then again, I'm doing this 4 times since I had 4 little doughs. So some went into loaf pans, some went into round vessels. Whatever you have works. I didn't use any bannetons or anything. I don't have all of the bells and whistles. I honestly prefer loaf pan shaped over the classic rounds. Don't come for me. But yeah, once I'm done shaping here, I'm just going to put them on a clean kitchen towel, as so. Pop. There we go. And I'm just gonna plop that right straight into the fridge. Now, then we're gonna come back for this in the morning. Good night. Next morning, here we are. Dust it with more flour. Rice flour does great. And then do one deep score. Do it quickly. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want, you can take your time. But I have screaming kids, so I'm just gonna go as fast as possible here. They're going to go straight into the oven at 500 degrees. Then after about 15 minutes, I take it out and I'm going to score it again. Look at the steam, wow, to help it get an ear. I didn't tighten my lame enough, but that's okay. We're not going for a professional on this one. When I have a little bit more time, I'll take my time to do things a little more meticulously. Yeah, baby. Then after that, I pop it back into the oven, 30 minutes uncovered at 450 degrees. I'm coming. You'll see. You really want to get under there. And there we go. See you in a bit. Take it out. You temp it. It's done. This was a very simple loaf. You could bake all of them at the same time if you wish. Or bake one and leave the others in the fridge for up to 3 days. They'll just get a little bit more sour and yummier as time passes. They'll be totally fine and ready to go. You could even freeze some dough and bake it later. The world's your oyster. I don't judge. Do whatever you want. Now comes the hardest part. Waiting. Now, ideally, you'd wait at least 2 hours. And base case scenario, 24 hours. I'm not waiting 24 hours. We're eating this fresh today. And once it's just warm to the touch, not blazing hot, we're going to cut into it, baby. Did I get the best angle ever? No, but you get the idea. Was this the best loaf I've ever made? Honestly, no. I've made much prettier loaves, but did it taste amazing? Absolutely. Look at that. I've made much prettier loaves before, but it did taste fabulous. Bad bread is still great bread. My worst loaf is still better than most bread I've ever had. And there you have it, real life screaming kids in the background, and hope you enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Have an awesome one.